I just got the results from my PCR test, so I am currently negative with the panorama. So cross your fingers that I'm able to dodge this crazy situation so that I can actually go on my trip. I would be completely lying if I didn't say that I was really nervous. I am very, very nervous right now about traveling and about all that it entails and could possibly entail, but I am really needing a trip. I need to get away, and so I'm trying to like lean into this to know, okay, I earned it. It's all paid for. It's all inclusive. I earned this trip for free through my company. Hey Sandy, hey Amy, how are you? And I'm doing all the right things. I've got all the right masks, and everything I'm doing right. So I just keep taking deep, deep breaths. And if any of you have traveled recently, please tell me what your experience was like. So I'm going to get ready, and this is also helping me feel a little bit better. I think the extra reason that I've been a little nervous is I have been under the weather. So that's why I've been tested multiple times. I think I just have a sinus infection and taking all the, recommended medicines for that. But sometimes these things, they just take a little while to get out of your system. So when you're feeling crummy, it kind of, brings down your mood a little bit. But I'm leaving this weekend and going to Punta Cana, and it is my first time ever going to Punta Cana, my first time ever going to an all-inclusive trip, and as I said, I'm excited and I'm nervous at the same time. So it's just, it is what it is right now. But I'm trying to do the best things that I can, making sure that I'm healthy, that I'm, taking the proper just considerations in hand. So when I do go, it is going to be a beach resort, which is really, really cool. So I'm going to spend a lot of time outside at the beach. I do have a room to myself, which is good and bad. My plus one was going to be my bestie, and she sadly got the panorama, so she can't come, which is super, super bum. But on the flip side, it just means that I'm gonna have to relax a lot. So I got to call the resort and say, hey, can we switch it from 2 double beds to, a king bed? Hi Melanie, how are you? Thank you so much for tuning in, my friend. Great to see you here. Thank you. And if you are watching, my friends, please put a hashtag hello lovely. That would be super great. I'm just going to put on a little bit of concealer. As I said, I've just been under the weather, so for me, sometimes just, taking a shower, put it on a nice outfit, put it on a little bit of makeup, it helps me feel better. I work from home, I take care of all the podcasting and the makeup business, and so I don't really necessarily see anybody except you. But it helps me feel better, and sometimes when you've got just a sickness that doesn't want to shake, sometimes faking it till you make it helps you feel better. So one of the first things that I did this morning is I made sure to do my skincare routine, including my eye cream. As my eyes often show if I'm not feeling that well. So really all of that the goodness inside that really helped kind of peak up my little eyes and help me look a little bit more normal. I took my collagen this morning. That's part of my skincare routine now. And I just figure I'm going to put on a little bit of makeup. It's going to make me feel great. So if any of you have traveled recently, I would love to hear your tips and tricks. I am flying direct on the way there, which is really great. It's a nice short flight, so that should, not be too awfully crazy. And I will get in. As I said, I now have a room to myself as my plus one sadly can't come anymore. And I'm just going to see how it all goes and just really enjoy myself. So it's going to be an adventure. I'm going to be meeting up with several friends there who also earned this trip from my team, which is so great. And I don't know, I'm just ready. I'm just ready to take some deep breaths and kind of decompress after last year. So this is part of the reason. So I wasn't actually trying to go for this trip. This trip is something that I did earn through my company, as I said. And when it first came out, at that time I was still pregnant. And so I just told myself, I'm not going to go for this. Hi, Gladys. How are you? Melanie says, I love how you call it the panorama. Yeah, right? I just think it adds a little bit of levity to the crazy situation that we're in, Melanie. So when the trip was first announced, I thought I was going to be not able to come because of, you know, being pregnant. And then when we had the miscarriage, I just decided like, okay, I'm going to go and, you know, really try out for this trip and see what I can do. And I earned it, which is awesome. And then of course we still have all the ickiness going on with the germs in the world right now. So I've been debating about going or not. And really my soul just needs it. I need to go and I need to sit by that ocean and just kind of journal and digest, as I said, everything and figure out how I'm feeling about stuff. Because when you go through loss, and whatever kind of loss that is for you, but for me, you know, we had two pregnancy losses last year. When you go through loss, it just kind of, you carry this weight along with you, and you need to be able to get it out somehow or talk about it or digest it. And I really wasn't able to do that yet, you know, between having to care for the kids and everything with school, and Blake wasn't well. So I don't know, I'm just going to take this trip as like a beautiful reset and journal, and I finally get to read in peace. So it's going to be a very, very welcome trip. I'm pretty excited. It's funny because it is an all-inclusive resort. So a lot of people who do go to these kind of places, you know, it's like party central. And I just feel so funny because I'm like, I'm now like the single traveler just going, and I can't wait to journal on the beach. I sound like such a such a boring person right now, but I can't wait. I cannot wait. So Rachel says, you deserve to relax and have peace. Thank you so much. Yeah, Melanie, steal the panorama, I'm telling you. So I'm just going to use a little bit of eyeshadow right here. I'm going to use the orange shade. This sweater, you can't see it too awfully much, but it's got some orange. It goes green and then tan and then orange. So I'm going to play with a little bit of orange on my eyelids. And what I'm going to do is just actually use my finger right now. So this particular eyeshadow palette is a bit creamy, of a powdery consistency, a creamy powder. So I actually find I can use my fingers, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so it's going to be good. It'll be good. So I just keep telling myself it'll be okay. But I am nervous. I'm nervous about traveling. I'm nervous, you know, that I'm going to get stuck there. So here's the scoop. Here's the scoop about traveling in this situation that we're in right now. This is what I have to do. So I have been making sure that I've been tested, and I have one final test happening on Wednesday, and just to make sure that I don't have anything on me before I go there. And then I fly to Punta Cana, and I hang on out there, and we do all the things we gotta do. And then the thing now, before you come back to the US, is you need to have a proof of another new negative test. So I will be taking a test. They give them to you for free at the resorts right now. I will be taking a test, you know, the day before I come back. And hopefully I'm still negative. If, God forbid, I suddenly pop positive while I'm in Punta Cana, the resort actually lets you stay there for free up to 14 days. You can't just like roam around and, you know, be all sorts of crazy. I'm pretty sure you're like stuck in your room still, and they give you the room service, and you just have to chill on out there until you finally become negative. But that's kind of the scoop. So they at least like take care of you, and I know my company will also take care of me, as I've expressed these concerns to some of the people who are in charge of this, and they're like, Mary, we're not just gonna leave you there on this island, like you know, don't worry about it, we're gonna take care of you. So that's made me feel a lot better. I'm just a little nervous, of course, just because it's a different country. You know, I think my nerves would be a bit better if I was just staying in the US and I wouldn't have to worry about all this kind of stuff, but it is what it is. I just keep, you know, every other day, I don't know if any of you are like this, I'm a nervous Nelly, and it's like every other day I feel different emotions. So some days I'm in nervous mode where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't go, oh no. And then other days I'm like, I can do this. I'm going to be safe. I'm just going to do what I can. Melanie says perhaps wear an N95 mask on the plane. Yes, so I do have N95 masks, Melanie, and I am going to be wearing those. I actually got really cute pink ones. Pink is not my color, but of the colors that I got to choose from, I just figured, you know what? If I'm going to be wearing this thing, I might as well make it fun. So I got bright pink masks, and once again, it's going to be a tropical location, so I just figured that should be fine. And yeah, so I've got N95 masks, and I will wear that obviously on the plane, but probably elsewhere as well. And hi Hillary, how are you? Hey Lindsay. And Rachel says, I hope Blake is doing better. I've been thinking of you guys. Thank you so much, Rachel. You're very sweet for saying that. So yeah, so I have the best masking situation that I can, and we're just gonna go for it and see how it goes. But if you don't hear from me, it's because I'm stuck somewhere. But hopefully I'll be okay. I know a lot of people who traveled more this summertime internationally, because I did travel this spring and this summer. I did travel here in the U.S. I went to Nashville and I went to Louisville. And so I was still like very, very careful on the airplanes, but obviously things are a little different because things are kind of super crazy right now, and I'm going internationally, so just taking lots of deep breaths. But I know once I'm there, I'm going to chill out so much. Oh, I can't wait. But that's going to be a big thing. And then I am going to be trying to eat at outdoor dining venues, and I get like unlimited room service. So if there's not an outdoor dining venue that I want to eat at, I can just get room service and bring it to where I want to go. So I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited about that. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any excursions. I don't know what those would be like. You know, they have all those through different resorts. And the one that I was thinking about doing was being with dolphins, which just sounds so stinking cool. If you've ever swam with dolphins, please let me know. But particularly now, because I'm not going with my friend, my plus one, and I'd be doing it alone, I don't necessarily want to do it anymore. I'm just like, I don't even know what that would all entail and where it is on the island. So I think I'm just gonna be like hunkering down and really kind of staying on the resort, which I am okay with. I am okay with relaxing and having cute little fruity drinks and reading a book on the beach. Doesn't sound too bad, right? I mean, yes, I may not do the dolphin thing. I can change my mind if I want to, though. I just want to see what the lay of the land is like and see how things are going. Hi, Hillary. I leave this weekend. And Melanie says, one more thing. Perhaps take a 50 milligram of zinc every day this week while you're here to boost your immunity. Thank you, Melanie. I will definitely look into that. I'm taking loads of stuff right now because I have not been feeling well, which also concerns me. But yeah, I haven't been feeling well this week, so I'm on loads of stuff right now just to help my immunity come on back. It's been some kind of a sinus infection or whatever, so not fun, I'll tell you that. Not fun to have a sinus infection with all of this going on, but I'm hoping that it clears up. Maybe I just need some like fresh beach air. It's also Rhode Island right now. We've been going through crazy, just like I feel like the rest of the country, we've been going through crazy temperature changes. So, you know, it was like 60 degrees one day. It's 8 degrees or something today is the low. It's insane. Melanie says, yes, swim with the dolphins is a life-changing experience. It is. Oh, yeah, I want to figure out where it is on the island, what the transportation is like to get to that. And then once I understand that, I'm going to make another decision. I am getting in a day earlier than the rest of the people. The event the trip technically starts on Monday, but I'm flying in on Sunday. So I kind of did that just so I could, as I said, get a lay of the land, just kind of know what's going on before things really kind of kick off. So I'm going to cross my fingers that I stay okay and that I don't get too awfully nervous, because I am a nervous person by nature. And it will be interesting, as Blake and I will have to podcast about This Is Us while I'm in a different country. So I have to see if I'm going to be able to still watch the show. I'm hoping I could still watch the show. Like, I have NBC on my phone, the app, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to access it since I'm going to be in a different country. That's a fun question for you. Are you able to still access your TV shows on your app if you're in a different country? Let me know. Inquiring minds want to know, for friends who do go internationally. But we're hoping that I could still watch the show and that I can potentially podcast, you know, like over Skype or Zoom, and still kind of check in that way for the podcasting situation. It's an incredible, expensive, but worth it. And the dolphin experience right now, Melanie, isn't even that crazy expensive. So part of the trip that I earned, as I said, it's to this all-inclusive resort. Part of the trip is that all of the extra experiences that people can do, for example, some with dolphins, they're at 75% off the price. Like they got some kind of special deal, so we can, you know, do all these experiences at literally just 25% of the price, 75% off, which is crazy. So swimming with the dolphins wouldn't actually be that expensive, which is why I was really thinking about it. But as I said, I just kind of have to weigh things out and see how my nerves are going at that point. So I'm actually using a little bit of a peachy based blush right here. This is the shade Supple. Once again, I'm kind of mirroring these peach hues inside my shirt right now. I did a little bit of a orangey color on my eyes, just kind of embracing it, embracing that all. Yeah, I'm really, I go back and forth. Poor Blake has to listen to me as I'm like, I'm nervous, I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm excited, but I'll get through it. I will get through it at some point, and we will figure everything out. It's a crazy time. I was seeing a friend of mine. She was supposed to have a trip and she had to cancel things. So it's just a little nerve-wracking. But I'm trying to stay calm. And I know once I'm there and I am able to control, you know, what I'm doing and where I'm sitting, and who I'm around, that I'll feel pretty good. So it'll be great. I know it'll be great. And I really, really need this for my heart and soul. I need to just take some deep breaths and restructure, you know, my brain and my heart and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be great. I know it will. I just have to buck up and start the packing. Hi Christine, how are you? Rachel says, I'm so excited for you and I totally understand the nerves part of it. Oh good. It's weird, right? Because like I'm still scheduled to go. My nerves haven't stopped me from going, but I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot to be traveling right now and to not know what's gonna happen and if I get stuck there. So I know at least what will happen if I get stuck there. You know, I know that I get to stay there, and I know my company will take care of me, but, like, I don't speak Spanish. I don't want to get, like, I know I'll be on the resort, so they'll be fine, but it's a little scary to think about being stuck in another country by myself, right? Like, I don't have my +1 anymore. So we will see. But on the flip side, Blake was laughing because he was saying like, oh no, you're going to be stuck at an all-inclusive resort on a tropical island. Like, how bad can that be? So, you know, obviously he would be super sad and he would miss me. But I do know there are worse places that I could be stuck. Rachel said, it's like when Rapunzel leaves her tower, she feels scared but excited and then guilty and then overjoyed. Oh my gosh. You're right, Rachel. Like, that's what I am. I'm Rapunzel. Like, best day ever. What did I do? That's kind of exactly where I'm at in my brain right now. All right, I'm going to finish up these eyes, and I'm just going to do a little bit of eyeliner, but I will be using, which eyeliner do I want to use? I'm going to use the Liquid Dip and Draw eyeliner, I think. Hi, Brittany. How are you? How you doing? Amy says, you'll be fine. Traveling alone is empowering. Channel Claire and Brianna. So I have traveled alone, too. I definitely traveled alone, Amy. But I agree. It's very, very empowering. So I've traveled a lot alone. But one of the biggest ones that I did was I went to Bali by myself. I think it's just traveling alone right now, knowing I could get stuck somewhere. That's what I'm nervous about. So I've had some advice from people to like pack a lot of extra medicine. You know, God forbid if I do get sick there and I really want like the medicines that I'm used to bring that. So it's just these extra little things, the what ifs to end up bringing. I agree. It is very empowering. And I know, that's why I'm saying, like, I know once I get there and I get to the resort and I'm like, I made it, I'll be so proud of myself and I'll be so happy that I went. But up until then, while I'm still nervous and while my state is bananas right now, I feel like every other person I know is popping positive. I'm just a nervous Nelly. So it is what it is. But as I said, me and my hot pink N95 masks, I'm gonna be rocking those suckers. Let's see, Amy says, you went to Bali alone. Yes, I went to Bali alone to go study their music. So Bali has this really cool xylophone instrument and kind of an orchestra ensemble made out of xylophones and gongs and drums, and it's called the gamelan. And I learned about it when I was in college, and I just thought it was the neatest thing. Like, I just absolutely loved listening to gamelan music. So I won a grant where I could go and travel and do some crazy things, and that's what I chose. I chose to go to Bali. So I went for an entire summer. It was right after Blake and I met. Blake and I met in April, and then that summer I was like, by the way, I'm going to Asia for the whole summer. Bye. That poor thing. And this was in the day and age when, internet was super hard to come by, and I would speak to him maybe once a week in some kind of an internet cafe. Remember internet cafes? Oh, those things were so precious. But yeah, when I'd like make it into town, into Bali. But it was a really neat place. So I studied the gamelan, and I also learned how to play the Balinese bamboo flute, which is kind of like a recorder, but just one straight bamboo flute. And then I also learned how shadow puppetry. That's a really big thing in Bali as well. So I did a lot of shadow puppetry, and I also did some Balinese dance. So that was all really, really neat. And I got mascara on my face, because this is what happens every time I go live and I talk and I put on mascara. Oh my gosh. And it's a big one. Goodness me. If anyone else has recently got mascara on their face, let me know in the comments so that I don't feel alone. Oh gosh, Mary. You'd think by now, my doing mascara lives for 5 years, this will be my 5th year, by the way, later this spring, that I would have learned how to not get mascara on my face while talking, while going live. Alas, it's not true. I'm just going to make a big old mess every time. Yes, Melanie. Yep, studied music in Bali. It was super neat. And what is like just an incredible luck is that one of the universities near me, so Brown University is right here in Providence, Rhode Island, they actually have a gamelan like orchestra. They have all the instruments and everything. Isn't this crazy? Oh my gosh. Let me see if it's dry yet. Almost dry. Okay. So when you do get a blob of mascara on you, let it dry, and then it can easily come off. If you try to mess with it while it's wet, you're just going to end up looking like you have a black eye. But you're going to look hysterical like me while you let that little mascara dry. Yeah, so Brown University has a full gamelan orchestra, and they actually like let people come and be members of it, and they teach you how to play it. So that's one of my goals in life at some point, is to actually join the community gamelan orchestra at Brown, which would be really neat. But it often conflicts with my wind ensemble that I have going on. So Rachel says, you're incredible, Mary. Every time, says Brittany. Brittany gets mascara. Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not alone, Brittany. I'm glad I'm not alone. All right, so let's clean this little sucker up, okay? So I'm just going to make sure. All right, it still is a little wet, meaning that when I touch it, a little bit of the product comes off. But sometimes if you do that, that kind of blots it away. So I'm just kind of pressing it, seeing how much comes off. There we go. Then the other cool thing you can do is you can take a spoolie. So kind of the end of like, even a clean, if you take your mascara wands, this is something that Rachel, who's here, taught me. You can actually clean your mascara wand, and it makes a really nice spoolie, and you just lightly go back and forth on that dry mascara, and it will just kind of flake it off, so that way it's not a big old mess on you anymore. If you need to touch up your concealer, you can go for it. I think I'm going to be okay. I might just take a little bit of powder, but for the most part, I think that is a-okay. I didn't make too big of a mess. It looked pretty bad, though, when I first made that blob. Oh, my goodness gracious. Rachel said, I can't even count how many times I left the house without cleaning off the mascara I got in my face. No, Rachel, no. Oh, man. All right, let's fill in these lips so I look like I actually have lips, and we will be good to go. So, yeah, so I'm feeling, I know that I can travel alone. I have done it before. I'm sad to leave my family. I'll be real with you. Like, I know I'm going to miss them, and after spending so much time with them these couple of years, it's going to feel weird to be alone. But the thing that I'm most nervous about is the panorama and getting stuck in a different country. I mean, that's pretty understandable to be nervous about that. That's a real thing to be nervous about. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. But Brittany, who I know is joining in, she knows our state is insane right now. Rhode Island. Little old Rhodey. We got the worst, what is it, the highest like per capita rate right now of infections. I really, it's like everyone I know has it. So I just keep dodging it. Choo, choo, choo. All right, I put a little bit of lip liner on. I'm just putting on my Hottie Lip Plumper. This helps me with my lips in regards to the little wrinkles that happen in the lips. It just kind of helps plump it up just a little bit. It is included inside my January beauty kit, which has loads and loads of items inside of it. It's awesome. So I'll talk about that in some other video, but thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your little tips. As I said, if anyone watching this has traveled recently and you do have any tips, let me know. Just send your little prayers my way that I travel there safely and I don't get stuck in a different country. That is my big fear. But aside from that, I'm trying to get excited about it. I'm trying to kind of push away the fear and really embrace how beautiful this trip can be. So that is the scoop, my friends. I hope you have a great day. Happy Tuesday, and I will talk with you soon.